Hi, friends. Welcome back. So, today I wanted to talk to you guys about money problems and particularly how you can alleviate a lot of them, and that is community. So, if you do have money problems, for example, why is community so important? Well, for the pragmatic reasons, obviously, you can lean on people, you can take loans for no interest, you can just get outright charity, you can do meal trains, which is where people make you meals and they show up and drop them off at your house. You can uh, people come and clean your house with you for you. Um, to get there though, to how do we go about going from where we are to a place like that? And that's what I wanted to hit on today. And to solve that money problem, you really one, yes, you need to manage your personal finances, of course, and all that stuff. Invest and do whatever guru or whatever financial planning you have in place, but then also to supplement that to give you another leg of risk aversion is community. And the way you build community are a couple different ways. The ones I have listed here are vulnerability, dependability, willingness to suffer, humility, and giving. And to embody those things, you have to have an outward focus. You can't look inward. You can't say, okay, I need community, therefore I will give these things. Because by nature, to be giving, to be vulnerable, to be dependable, can't be because you need something. Because by nature, to be giving would be you're giving to somebody else for their sake, not so you can get. And why is vulnerability important in community? Well, you need to be honest. You need to be open. You need to be able to take feedback from people, but also give constructive feedback in a way that people can understand and actually listen to the message and hear it and digest it, not be offended. Being dependable, showing up on time, doing what you say you're going to do, answering the phone, calling people on a regular basis, showing up and saying, hey, how can I help you? Doesn't matter what it is. What's going on in your life? How can I help get that done? A willingness to suffer, which essentially is just being sacrificial. Giving of your time, giving of your resources, giving of your efforts and your energy and your talents and money and things that you have. Being able to give those things and help other people is essentially a way you're going to start to knit together with other people in your community. Humility, it's not because of you, right? It can't be because you're doing this and that you're being lifted up. And that's where the Christian faith has, I think, a unique perspective, is that we don't do these things for our sake. We decrease, He increases. And the more you have those things, the more people will be attracted to you. It's just a function of the universe. And then the last thing I have is giving, and that's kind of tying into willingness to suffer. Giving is you are taking on in yourself a penalty because you're not going to consume the thing that you would have otherwise, and you're giving it to somebody else. And you're doing that not for your sake, but for their sake. And as you slowly start to piece this together, and community starts to knit together, you realize money is just a tool. It's just something that you use in order to accomplish something bigger. And in a lot of cases, money just sort of fades away. And most of the time, people I spend my time with, we don't exchange goods or services. It's just actually just spending time with people. It's doing puzzles together. It's making a meal. It's going for walks, or it's going to see some nature show or some, fireworks show or whatever it is. And those things you're just spending your time and not being like compensated for it. And because it's awesome, it's fun to do those things. And on the other side of things, the people that have been in my community for the last few years, when things get rough, like when I lost my job this year, or when you get COVID, or, Bertha was pregnant with a baby, they all show up. And it reminds you that in the very narrow sense, you're not alone, of course, but in the broader sense, you got to keep your eyes on what is really real, what's really tangible. And having nice things is nice, but they're not as nice as people. Nothing is as nice as having people. And people in your life are what is going to carry you through the hard times, or just going to be where you're going to go and spend time when you have good times, you celebrate with. So something to think about. If you're having money problems, you're going to have to tighten up on some level financially, but a way to get there is to have people in your life, because one, they'll keep you from going back into there, because if they're willing to be if they're willing to suffer, they will come along with you and say, hey, listen, you're doing this wrong. Have you considered this? Let's put you on a program. Let me help you get you out of this mess, and then let's set this rubric in place so you don't fall back into that. And the more you do that, the more people you have in your life that are like that, the stronger you will be, the more sovereign you will be as an individual. But at the same time, you're free at that point to go do something. And what I'm encouraging you to do is, one, if you don't have a community, go and find it. And then two is, once you are free to do what? And that's the thing we'll catch up on another video on. But I would say the number one thing to solve your money problems is to have people around you that are encouraging you, that are willing to go there with you, that are willing to have tough conversations, that are willing to help you financially, get resources, make sure you're living, within your means, of course. But even COVID can take that away. If you're a service person in the service industry, it's really hard to make a living when nobody's going anywhere. The average John Q public is just at home all the time, not going to frequent the places where you work. So what are you going to do? And that is going to, I think is going to roll into the next couple 18 months to 2 years with white collar jobs being pinched back and those people being sent home. So, and that would include people like myself. So remember, people are important. They're way more important than you realize. If you can't deal with people, get the skills, and understand that it's a perspective that you have to have, that yes, people can help me solve problems, but they can't be the reason why you have people in your life. People are in your life because they're people, and they're ends in themselves, not means to an end. So you're not going to get somebody in your life to solve a problem for you, because that's not about them. That's about you. You have to keep your focus on them, and you will see that there are pragmatic, real, tangible benefits to being in a community. So let me know what you think. Drop me a line. Leave me a comment. We'll talk to you on the next one. See ya.